Naaman stood in the doorway, his hand trembling on the frame. The great commander of Syria, a man who had led armies to victory, now faced an enemy he could not defeat. A small white patch on his arm had grown, and the truth was undeniable. Leprosy. The word itself felt like a death sentence, a curse that would strip away his honor, his position, his very life. In that moment, the mighty warrior was reduced to a frightened man, staring into an uncertain future. In Naaman's household, a young Israelite slave girl served his wife. She had been taken captive in a raid, torn from her homeland, yet her faith remained unshaken. Seeing her master's despair, she spoke with quiet conviction. "If only my master would see the prophet who is in Samaria, he would cure him of his leprosy." Her words were a flicker of hope in a dark room, a testament to a God who works through the most unlikely voices. Desperate, Naaman seized this slender hope. He went to his king, who sent a letter to the king of Israel, along with vast treasures, silver, gold, and 10 sets of fine clothing. The letter demanded, "With this letter, I am sending my servant Naaman to you, so that you may cure him of his leprosy." But the king of Israel tore his robes in anguish. "Am I God, to kill and make alive? This man is trying to pick a fight with me." He saw only a political trap, not a divine appointment. Word reached Elisha, the prophet of God. He sent a message to the king. "Why have you torn your robes? Let him come to me, and he will know that there is a prophet in Israel." So Naaman journeyed to Elisha's house, his chariots and horses stirring up dust, his heart pounding with expectation. He was a man of power, accustomed to deference. Surely the prophet would come out, wave his hand, and perform a dramatic healing. But Elisha did not even come to the door. Instead, he sent a messenger with a simple, almost insulting instruction. "Go, wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan, and your flesh will be restored and you will be cleansed." Naaman's expectations shattered. He had envisioned a grand ritual, a personal touch from the prophet. This was absurd. The Jordan? A muddy, insignificant river compared to the clear waters of Damascus. Naaman's pride erupted. "I thought that he would surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God, wave his hand over the spot, and cure me of my leprosy. Are not Abana and Pharpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Couldn't I wash in them and be cleansed?" He turned and went off in a rage. His healing was within reach, but his heart was not ready. But his servants, with wisdom and courage, approached him. "My father," they said, "if the prophet had told you to do some great thing, would you not have done it? How much more, then, when he tells you, 'Wash and be cleansed'?" Their words pierced his anger. It was not the difficulty of the task that offended him, but its simplicity. It required not strength, but surrender. Naaman's heart broke. He swallowed his pride and turned his chariot toward the Jordan. The great commander, clad in his armor, stepped down into the muddy water. The first dip, nothing. The second, nothing. The third, fourth, fifth, sixth, still his skin remained diseased. Doubt whispered, but he remembered the prophet's word. With a final act of faith, he submerged himself the 7th time. When he rose from the water the 7th time, a miracle unfolded. His skin was restored, clean and pure like that of a young boy. The leprosy was gone. Not just the spots, but the decay, the pain, the stigma, all washed away in the humble Jordan. The man who had come in anger and pride emerged in awe and gratitude. God's power had been made perfect in simple obedience. Naaman returned to Elisha, a changed man. He stood before the prophet, no longer a proud general demanding service, but a humble worshiper. "Now I know that there is no God in all the world except in Israel," he declared. He offered gifts, but Elisha refused. The healing was not for sale. It was a free gift of God's grace. Naaman's physical cure was complete, but his spiritual transformation was just beginning. Naaman made a request to take 2 mule loads of earth from Israel back to Syria. He wanted to worship the God of Israel on holy ground. He also asked for pardon when he must bow in the temple of Rimmon with his king. Elisha's response was simple: go in peace. It was a recognition that Naaman's faith, though new, was genuine. God looks at the heart, not just outward rituals. Naaman rode away, his body whole, his soul awakened. He had come seeking a cure and found a creator. The muddy Jordan had become a river of grace, and a slave girl's faith had set a chain of miracles in motion. In our own lives, we often seek God in the spectacular, but He meets us in the simple acts of obedience. Are we willing to humble ourselves, to trust His word, even when it doesn't make sense? That is where true healing begins. If this story has touched your heart, please subscribe to Echoes of the Covenant and share this video with someone who needs to hear it.